Hey everybody, I'm Evan Hammonds for bloodhorse.com and welcome to After the Wire, where things are really heating up with only 6 weeks to go before the Breeders' Cup World Championships. This week, we're going to focus on the Ladies Classic Division and the Filly and Mare Sprint Division. Now, before we get to the races, I've got a comment about this weekend's schedule. There was a time when Belmont Park's Fall Championship meet offered the best racing each and every weekend of the fall. Now, with the Woodward move to Saratoga, the Marlboro Cup's long since gone, and every other major race at Belmont squeezed into 2 super weekends, it's a grade 2 kind of track in September. Now, with Parks offering back-to-back million-dollar races September 22nd, Bensalem was the place to be. The Cotillion, which only drew 4, did bring together arguably the 2 best 3-year-old fillies in training. Godolphin's Questing dazzled us with their speed in the Alabama, and My Miss Aurelia, last year's 2-year-old filly champ, was poised in her return after a start in August at Saratoga. On paper, it looked like it was going to be a good old-fashioned match race. The conventional wisdom is, in a match race, the speed horse has the advantage because it can dictate the tempo. Now, the bettors agreed, making Questing the 2-5 favorite, and they let My Miss Aurelia go off at 9-5. Now, conventional wisdom looked pretty good for the first 6 furlongs in the Cotillion, as Questing was allowed to get away with a half and 50 flat and 6 furlongs in 1:14 and 3. That was here when things really heated up. Now, they tore through a final quarter in 23 and 4. Questing and My Miss Aurelia went at it hammer and tong, ding and dong. It was a true test of talent, strength, and will. Now, there's something that stirs deep in the heart of the thoroughbred, something that separates the champions from the rest, and we witnessed that at Parks Racing. With the tenacity of a heavyweight prize fighter, My Miss Aurelia found that little something extra, that it, if you have it, to inch clear of Questing in the final strides to remain unbeaten. Now, will the win springboard both of them to the Ladies Classic, or will the efforts knock them out, causing them to bounce next time? Now, one old racing adage will ring true here in the coming weeks: the good ones don't bounce. Also unbeaten is Awesome Feather, who made her first start since January in the Nasty Storm Stakes at Belmont on Thursday. Now, she simply crushed an overmatched field, but it was the way she did it that looked so good. There was a third fraction there of 23 and 3, helped her put away the field, and the final time of 1:33 and 2 for the mile was spectacular. Now, tendon issues have kept her starts down to 10 over 3 seasons, but when she's on, she's as good as anyone else out there. Now, my e-ticket tri-box for the Ladies Classic, there's no surprise here, it's a trio of champions: My Miss Aurelia, Royal Delta, and Awesome Feather. Now, the marquee event of the day at Parks was the Pennsylvania Derby that brought together 7 3-year-olds from a depleted crop of males this year. Gone are I'll Have Another, Bodemeister, Union Rags, Painter, Hanson, the list goes on. Alpha, the top dog at Saratoga, along with Dead Heater Golden Ticket, were the stars of the PA Derby, but both were rocked by J. Paul Redham's Handsome Mike, who won the race following 7 straight defeats. Now, he's been pitched high. All 7 of those starts came in graded stakes, but less than 2 months ago, he was beaten 12 lengths by Painter in the Haskell. Looking solely at the times, Questing and My Miss Aurelia would have blown by the lot of them in the stretch. Now, I'd be surprised if this race had any real outcome on the Breeders' Cup Classic. Now, there was one graded race at Belmont on Saturday, the Gallant Bloom Handicap, where we saw 8-to-1 shot Dust and Diamonds prevail on the front end in the 6.5 furlong dash. Now, of note was the sneaky good finish of Musical Romance, who was the 122-pound highweight. She's also last year's Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint winner. Apparently backing up and being left for dead at the head of the lane, she dug deep and rallied to finish 3rd, running into a final 16th of 6 and 2. Belmont may not be her kind of place, and I'd say that was a pretty good setup for her next time. Now, my ticket for the Filly and Mare Sprint would be Musical Romance on top, with Groupie Doll and some others thrown in there right now. We haven't really come up with that yet. Now, next week, there are more Grade 1 races on Saturday than there'll be on Breeders' Cup Saturday, with major preps at Belmont and Santa Anita. We'll break them down next time here on After the Wire. Thanks for watching.